box. So you can see the 4 big squares in, well, can you see that there are 4 large blocks? And I'm going to make one of them. But each one of those big blocks is made up of 4 individual blocks. So I will just stand up, just point it out to you. So can we see here? No, yes, here. So, whoops, here we are. So this is one block I'm going to show you here. A large square in the middle, triangles here, background fabric here. And we put 1, 2, 3, 4 of them together, and we create that almost a spinning star. Right, let's just see if I can, get this. Am I getting that back? Not quite. Little bit large. That's better. You know how you used to put your fingers on and spread them like that? Doesn't work like that now. Dear, oh dear. Okay, so I have done, because it's made up of 4, I have done 1 already. So here is a block. There are instructions in the autumn wood. Now I do have, with this, I do have a quilt kit, which I know a lot of you have bought, which is why I needed to demonstrate. So there's a quilt kit on the website, which has, does it have the wadding in it? I think it has everything, actually. Have a look. Autumn Woods by Renee Nanneman. So there's a quilt kit, and I meant to bring it through, I have got charm packs for £14, and I have layer cakes, which are 42. So that is the block, and here is the rest of the, well, you can see all the beautiful fabrics in that quilt that's on the wall. But these are really autumnal colours. I've sort of moved it about a bit, but you've got dark browns, you've got lovely duck egg blue, you've got mustardy gold, you've got a lovely rust, you've got pale green, you've got a cream background there with that sagey olivey green, you've got a cream background, but they are just lovely, lovely colours together. The one I'm going, no, it isn't going to be that one, I've done that already. But there's all light ivory, right through to the deepest brown and the lovely russet reds, which all blend together beautifully. So I'll pop that out of the way and I'll just show you here. So let's just go down like that. So there is the block which we are going to be making. And believe you me, it is very, very straightforward. And when we put 4 of these together, which I will do, because I have got 3 of these already made. So all we need are strips of our background fabric in 2 different sizes. So what I have done, there is my charm square. So I have selected a charm. Then we need, I'll take that away. We need obviously a 5-inch wide piece, because that's how wide a charm is. And then we need a strip to go down the side. And basically, if you see this here, you can see that like that. If I take it away, you can see how that comes together. You've got the bit at the top, the bit at the side, and then that piece down here with the triangles. So what we do, I'm going to set that aside for the moment. If for each block within the block, you get one of your short 5-inch pieces and one of your long 7-inch pieces, with depending on how many you're making, but with some of the charms, all you need to do is chop the charm in half vertically and horizontally, and it will give you 4. I've got a few more here, because I thought this could be made into like a place setting. So I've chopped some more here. So these are all 2.5-inch squares, which I have cut from the individual charms. So let's put those over there. And then we're going to put one of these on each. Now, if you always do it in exactly the same place or part of our rectangles, our strips, then you won't go wrong. So laying them out like this, absolutely spot on. So we're going to take one of the squares and place it. I'm always placing at the right hand side of the strip, and the same with this one as well. Now, all you've got to remember is, and it's in the instructions, one diagonal goes one way and one goes in the opposite direction. So this one at the top, we need to draw a line diagonally here. So I've just put my ruler on there, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line. Now, they do fit together quite nicely, stick together, so they're not going to move. And then on this one, we want to do it the opposite direction. So with the longer strips, if you set them out like this, you could actually, if you're doing the quilt, you know, a lot more, you could actually put them all on top of each other so that you know when you do the long strip, they're all going in this direction. And when you're doing the small strip, they're going in the opposite direction. So you can see there, this one goes that way, this one goes that way. So let's move that. So we are actually going to stitch on that line. So I have got my, whoops, you could put a pin in there to hold that. I'm going to have my stitch length at 1.8. And I'm going to start at this end here and stitch along that diagonal. Okay, now, as I say, if you're going to chain piece and do a few more, you just put the rest on. But what I'm also going to do, because we will be cutting this away, so I am actually going to stitch just over 1/4 of an inch away from there so that I have, I'll show you one that I've already done. So this one I've already done, and I stitched this extra line so that I've got a half square triangle ready stitched together, rather than having lots of little triangles which I need to match up and then they don't go together well. So I'm not going to have a 1/4 of an inch seam. So can you see there? They're only probably a 1/4 of an inch apart, but that's fine because we don't necessarily have to have a 1/4 of an inch seam, but it does give me then a nice half square triangle there. We'll cut those in a minute because we'll go to this one now and we are going to stitch along that line too. And come off right at that point. And then again, I'm going to stitch down here about the same distance. So I'm looking at the side of my foot and seeing that it's a similar distance all the way down, away from that other stitch line. So now I'm just going to cut in between. So there I have one, and here I have my half square triangles, half square triangle square ready stitched together. And I'll find something I can make with that. I'm sure we can make something that looks really pretty, because it's a shame to waste the fabric when it is so lovely. Okay, so there I have my two. Now what I'm going to do, hopefully, is just get my iron on, and I won't get my mat. I'm just going to bring this around to the iron. So I'm just going to move this over here. So we have the iron. Let's pop that just there. And there are my pieces. So I am going to set the seam by just pressing on top. And then I'm just going to move that easily across there. I'll get the other one set the seam, push it open with my finger and just roll the iron just like that. So as you see, both of my blocks are going in opposite directions. Oh, let's just knock it on the floor. Okay, so there's one. The other one has, oh, I'm treading on it. That's good. Oh, it's always good when you tread on your fabric. So there we have the two. So let's find, there is my square. And if you remember, we had the short one at the top. Now what we need to look at is this triangle is going at the opposite side. So it's going just there. This triangle is going, oh no, would you believe it? Never mind. That one is going down there. Similar, they're not the same fabrics, but they're similar. I could have done to have that a different colour, but never mind. So we've got our three pieces. First thing we're going to do is put the small piece right sides together. Let's move that over here for the minute. And we're just going to stitch down this seam. So I'm just lining that up at the top. And I start sewing a little bit. Then I get hold of this and I just pull that down so that it lines up, because it depends how you've pressed that seam allowance there. It may be that it hasn't been pressed out fully. So that way you can make sure that piece fits. So then we are going to open it out and just nail press that across there. So that is there. And then we'll bring the other one in. And what we're looking for is that these triangles form a line. It's like the diagonal line across the square. So there's our big square. And this makes a diagonal line with that triangle pointing out in the middle. So we're then going to pop this right sides together as well. So let's do the same. We're going to line that up perfectly and do a couple of stitches there so it's anchored. Then we'll go down this end and we're going to line those up perfectly and then just pull that so that that fits. And I can see all the edges, all those raw edges are aligned and that fits down there perfectly. So I'm keeping my fingers there. And we have our block there, and there are our triangles. So again, I'm just going to take that to the ironing board. I'm just going to press that way because it's telling me it wants to go that way. And then this seam is going to press towards this side. Won't take me a moment, but we'll just press that out. And I also like to press on the right side. Just smooth my iron across there and look how much better that looks already. So as I was saying, I had done, so that is just one small block. So I have got another one, 2, another one, 3, and another one, 4. And that's going to make our large block. So let's just lift that up just a little bit. And then we're going to lay them out in a 4. So there is one. And what I'm hoping that these are going to work out is that I have my floral ones. So we're going to have our big squares. Let's lift that up. Right, so our big squares are in the center. Here are our triangles at the edges. And I want that one, oh, that works fine. That one to go just there, so another square in the middle, and that one to go there. Now that is fine, because what I didn't want, these triangles that stick out, so they'll form like a star, I didn't want them to be exactly the same colour because it can happen. And as I was looking, I wanted my 2 large floral designs to be opposite angles, and then 2 there different. And I think this would look lovely as just a place setting. You know, you could put your cutlery on there and your plate. So that's why I thought I'll do just the one at the time. So the next step is, once you've laid them out in the layout, let's see, swipe left to review. Oh, here we are. Let me see. Probably better to repeat. Yep, I've read that. So I didn't see any comments here. Heather's going to post a picture. Lovely. Good evening to Joanne. And, oh, it doesn't look as if it's just telling me people are watching now. And Jennifer, hello, Jennifer. Oh, yes, you saw me drop that. Oh, yeah, I'd be a wealthy person as well. You could make it into a cushion cover, Marilyn. Most definitely. And I think what I would probably do is put some more borders, some extra drop borders with the backing, and that is really going to make that stand out. Yeah, it's quite, yeah. And the colours are lovely. Absolutely lovely. Right. So it does make you feel warm just looking at it, doesn't it? So we'll use the spider web method, so we can't possibly turn them the wrong way around. And I'm going to flip that one onto there, right sides together, and this one onto here, right sides together. And we're going to stitch down this edge. Don't cut the threads, but carry on stitching down there. So I'm going to set that to the other side for the moment. There are seams that are better if they match. So I haven't got my pincushion there. I'm seeing that that is looking quite good. So I'm matching those up, and we will start stitching along here. So down we go, and then I can just have a look to make sure those 2 line up well, which, like that. And I would put a pin on there, and then, oh, that's good. This matches up perfectly at this point as well. So we can just carry on stitching down to the end, but don't cut your thread. Here is the next one. So again, this time we're starting on the squares, so there's no seams to match there. So we will start stitching, but then I will look here to make sure that lines up, because they don't nest because of the way I pressed. So I'm just moving that back so the raw edges are aligned. I've got my fingers on there, and then hopefully, because there's 2, the triangles line up here that are on those sides, so they should line up as well. But as long as we've got our 1/4 inch seam allowance, so all joined together, you see, they can't possibly go the wrong way round. So as I always do, the bottom set of 2, I open out, and we'll give that a little finger press. That looks good. Okay. So rather than just open this out now, what I do is flip it over first, then I open it out, and it means the seam is going to be under this side so that we have the nesting at the center. So let's just nail press along there. Well, it's not the best of joins there, but I can live with that because we've got some orange going into it. So we've got that together. We're then going to flip this one onto here. Now at this point, most definitely nest those up really, really well. There is my pincushion. Right. Remember that little pincushion there? So I've got myself a pin, and I'm definitely nesting that and placing a pin in there. So we're going to stitch along this edge here. So again, let's just line up that edge just there, which looks fine, and that one at the top, and we can stitch down there, and then that meets really nicely. The raw edges are aligned, And when we're nearly at that intersection, we can take that pin out and open it up to line up that intersection just there, which is lovely. Make sure I'm just using my nails to pull that fabric back so that the raw edges are lined up there, which I can see they are. And then we'll go over there, and that lines up there with my angled line, my triangles at the edge. Okay, so open it up, and there we have. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. So let's just go over, to the ironing board again. Let's put the ironing board just there. And we can flip this over like so. And basically the seams almost tell you which way they want to go. So that one is leaning towards that direction. So I'm just pulling at that one edge. Okay, like so. And then this one here is going that way. So I'm being careful not to press these seams up, which I've already pressed flat. This one is going the same way as that other one because that was the central line that we've just done. And then if I flip, oh no, I can pull it towards me. So this is the last one that needs doing. So I just hold this edge and pull that towards me. So those are nicely pressed. And then, as I usually do, just pop the iron over the whole of it. Don't iron backwards and forwards, but just smooth that over. And I think that is looking just lovely. And I hope you like that too. So, let's come back to here. And we can see... Whoops, that's in the wrong place, isn't it? There we go. So I'm going to take it now. Now let's just show you that again, just there. So you've got our 1/4 inch seam allowances at these points. As we said before, a lovely trim around the edge would really frame it. Or if you put the same background fabric around the edges as well, this lovely harvest barley colour, it will make that star float within it. But it has come out really, really well. So I'll just show you. We'll go back up to here so that you can see the quilt there. Let's see if, with that mess, let's see if I can, no, oops, no, I don't want that. Just, oh, goodness gracious me. Just trying to, no, it's not doing it for me. So I'll take this over to show you where this goes. So here is the block, and that will fit just there. Whoops. There we are. And that is where it goes. And you can see that just matches in with it. But you will need to make that one that I've done this evening, 2, 3, 4, and there's enough charms in the pack with some left to be able to make even more. So a nice easy, I can't put it any other way really. It is a nice easy block. There is very little in the way of seam matching. Obviously that centre point. Have I done that okay? Yep, that looks okay. There's just those ones where the triangles come together just there. They look fine, but even if they're not absolutely perfect, it isn't a crime. I don't think you can tell whether those points match perfectly or not. But I hope you agree, it's a lovely, straightforward block. And, you know, if you wanted, how many did I say, charms it uses? what does it use? It uses 24 5-inch squares to make all of those. It's just the background fabric you need as extra. 24, that's right. So you can actually see from those squares, you've got 4 of these blocks, and in each of them you've got 4 charms in the middle. So you need 16 for the middle, and then these triangles are made from a charm which gives you 4 of the mini charms, basically. If you made 6 blocks with borders, do you think it would be enough as a lap quilt? I'd say if you put some borders on it, just put, well, like I've done there, I have put borders on there. Possibly I would just put it would be long enough, but I'd possibly put a slightly wider border, because that comes out to, it is 34 inches wide. So if you could put a little bit wider borders, yes, it would work beautifully as a lap quilt, I am sure. So what did I say? Yeah, so it only needs 24. There are another 18 charms in the pack. So the charm pack would give you enough. Let's see, I needed 6 for each block. So 6 7s are 42. Yeah, you could actually make 7 blocks like this. So you could definitely do another 2 of those blocks to make it longer. And then you'll have 1 spare, which you could make a little pillow to put your head on as well. But yes, and as I say, just add slightly wider or even 2 or 3 borders around it to make it up to at least, say, 42, 44, and it would be perfect. Okay, where are we now? We're about 7:15. What I'm going to do, I have had a lovely time, and you have made me feel a little bit more upbeat. As I say, sometimes if you just sit down and don't do anything, you feel worse, don't you? But perhaps the talking has just got my lungs moving. Oh, Bev likes the warm colours. I do too. They're lovely. The other thing I have used within there, apart from the barley coloured fabric, is a Macawa. Oh, what do they call it? They don't call it thatch. They call it whatever. But the rusty one is a Stoff fabric. And no, it isn't. It's a cottage cloth by Renee Nanneman as well. And that works in there really well. But you could, and I've bordered it with a chocolate brown to actually outline the whole of it. So, as I say, there are a few charm packs left. And layer cakes too. What I would do, any layer cakes and charm packs, just for until the end of the weekend, I will add in the instruction pack for the printed instruction pack for the Autumn Woods quilt for you to be able to make. One of the other ones which I did give away before, let me just lean over here, because we did have, I did show you another. So this one was another one I made with Autumn Woods as well, which is just a good use, also a nice easy one too, and a similar technique, but that's another one which could be made purely out of one charm pack. So that one needs finishing off, which I haven't done as yet. But as I say, until any orders that come in by the end of the weekend, we're Thursday, so it gives you until Sunday evening, I will include the Autumn Woods fully printed colour and instructions for the actual lap quilt as well. So even if you don't use it for this one, you would be able to use it to make a quilt of any other size and have all the instructions within there, how to layer it up, add the borders, etc. Okay, I am going to leave you there Oh, the door isn't shut yet. Getting a bit chillier. And I will bid you a good evening for the rest of the evening. And hopefully see you tomorrow for the last 4 rows of the mystery scrap quilt in the special group. So if you haven't signed up to it, it is free. You are most welcome. It's Mystery Scrappy Quilt 6. Just search for it and request to join, and I will make sure you can come into the group. So all of the PDFs which show what the rows are like, we're actually on the last 4 rows tomorrow evening. The penultimate week until we reveal it a week tomorrow, and I can't wait. Anyhow, thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and hopefully tomorrow isn't too windy, unless it blows you here to watch with me. So take care, and I'll see you soon. And there we are.